Good morning students. I hope all watched yesterday's optical fiber video. If not, watch the video and send your assignments. Okay? Today's topic is conditions for total internal reflection. So what are the conditions for total internal reflection? Is first one, the light must travel from denser medium to rarer medium. So the light must be travel from denser medium to rarer medium. And the second one is the angle of incidence is always above the critical angle, then only the total internal reflection takes place. So these are the two conditions for total internal reflection. So first one is the light must be travel from denser to rarer medium, and the angle of incidence is always greater than the critical angle. Next one. Optical fibers transmitting information or guiding the information in the form of light. So optical fibers, which are nothing but guiding medium, which guides the light inside the optical fiber. Clear? So optical fibers transmitting the information or guiding the information in the form of light. Okay. So, and the optical fibers works on the principle of total internal reflection. So we have to send our information in the form of light through optical fibers and by the phenomenon of total internal reflection. Clear? So for total internal reflection, we require two media. One is the denser medium, another one is the rarer medium. So while constructing the optical fiber, we have to choose two mediums. One is denser medium, another one is the rarer medium. So in optical fibers, there are two materials. One acts as the core, which is denser medium. So the core is always denser medium. Next one. Next one is called cladding. Cladding acts as always rarer medium. So in the construction of optical fiber, there are two parts. One is the core, another one is the cladding. Core always acts denser medium. Cladding acts as rarer medium. We know that light must be travel from denser medium to rarer medium. That means from core to cladding, and then total internal reflection takes place and light is propagated inside the optical fiber. Clear? Okay. Next, the refractive index of core is taken as N1. Here N1 is the core refractive index. The refractive index of clad is taken as N2. So you should remember N1, N2. Very, very important. N1 is the refractive index of core. N2 is the refractive index of cladding. So this is the terminology in the optical fibers. So you should remember the terminology N1, N2. Refractive index of core. N2 is the refractive index of cladding. Light must be travel from core to cladding. Core acts as denser medium, cladding acts as rarer medium. So that's why there is a condition. The refractive index of core is always greater than the refractive index of cladding. N1 is always greater than N2. Clear? Next one. Next, go to critical angle. So I already know that what is meant by critical angle. So critical angle is also nothing but it is the angle of incidence at which the refracted ray touches the boundary, and the angle of refraction at that time equals to 90 degrees. So in optical fibers, we already know that N1 is the refractive index of core. N2 is the refractive index of cladding. light must be travel from denser medium to rarer medium. Okay, condition N1 is greater than N2. Here the light is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, and N1 is the core refractive index, N2 is the cladding refractive index. So the light is traveling from core to cladding. This is the angle of incidence and it equals to critical angle. So at the critical angle, the angle of refraction equals to 90. Okay, next come to using Snell's law. We already know that Snell's law equals to sin I by sin R equals to mu. So mu equals to sin I by sin R. This is known as Snell's law. This Snell's law is also written like this also. Using Snell's law, N1 sin theta I is equals to N2 sin theta R. When angle of incidence equals to critical angle, then angle of refraction equals to 90. Substituting this condition in this equation, then N1 sin theta C equals to N2 sin 90. We know that sin 90 equals to 1. Then sin theta C equals to N2 by N1. So theta C, critical angle, equals to sin inverse N2 by N1. So all derivations are derived in N1 and N2s because these two are our inputs which are known. Always the output should be in terms of input. That means our inputs are N1 and N2. So that's why the formula is in terms of N1 and N2. So theta C equals to sin inverse N2 by N1. N1 is the refractive index of core, N2 is the refractive index of cladding. Theta C is called critical angle. Okay, thank you.